5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So this is a Titan Series Spiderman 12-inch figure, and has very basic articulation, head, arms at the shoulders, legs at the hips. I can actually go right quite a ways back as well, and that's about it. Decent sculpt though, plenty of opportunity and potential to really bring this out. The webbing's all sculpted, so but there's no black lines or anything like that. The only painted features are basically the blue on red here, the upper torso and arms. Otherwise it's moulded in red plastic. The black spider logo on the front. Naturally the white eyes and the black outline. Other than that, that's it. There is a sculpted spider logo on the back, but it's not that obvious because it's all just the molded part of the molded plastic. But the all the webbing is sculpted in, so that's going to be good for a shoe polish treatment to bring it out. On the lower torso, the legs are molded plastic here and here. This is painted blue over red plastic. You can see the red coming through where the paint is scratched off. It's been carried through on his butt, so that should be blue, not red. And then at the calves, where the, what would you call them, socks, where they start, that's a swivel there. So one bit of articulation I forgot to mention. And again, that's moulded red plastic, and that's blue plastic. So no real paint except for here, here and here, and there, where they painted the blue over the red there. But all in all, it's a decent figure. I mean, it's a good representation of Spider-Man. We're just going to make him look a hell of a lot better. So we're going to start by using the black shoe polish, and I'm just going to brush this liberally over the red areas, let it soak into all these web lines, and let that dry, and then I'm going to scuff it off later with a damp scourer, a soft sponge scourer. So we'll start with the head, shall we? Just brush the shoe polish in there, and you can see straight away it's bringing out all that sculpted webbing, and this will make it look more accurate to the comic book representation, or the artist's view. So just brush it on, let it get right into those, all that sculpted line work, and by letting it dry, when we go to remove the excess later on, it will stay in those recesses and look like black line work. just trying to achieve at the moment is to make sure that I get this shoe polish into all those little black crevices, because when I remove the excess, that will remain behind and really show up. I'm not concerned about getting any on the blue areas because that's going to be repainted anyway, because I have to paint this area here and here. I need to match the blues, so I'll probably have to repaint all the blue sections so they all look the same. And a little shoe polish goes a long way. And the idea is to let that dry so it dries properly in all those lines, and then when I come back later and remove the excess with a damp sponge scourer, I'll be just taking all the black off the high points and leaving the black in the line work. So now that it's dry, I'm going to be removing the excess with a damp scourer, as I mentioned earlier. I know it looks a bit shiny, but once I start taking the shoe polish off, it's going to look a lot more matte. So just gently rubbing the surface, not pushing hard at all. It doesn't take much to take the excess off. And as you can see, it reveals that black line work without much effort at all. And the scourer is just damp, it's not dripping wet, so I've just squeezed out the excess water. And you do not need to apply much pressure at all. And it takes a lot of that excess shoe polish off those high surface areas. And the end result's quite dramatic. You can see all that lovely black sculpted line work. Just continue on with all the areas, and it's amazing what a little bit of elbow grease does. Straight away the impact is obvious. It's already looking 10 times better. Hard to believe all those details were hidden. I'm going to be moving on to painting the rest of the figure with some blue paint, and I'm going to need to prime it with this product called Dulux Duramax. It's a clear plastic primer, and this will help the paint stick to those red areas. Not to mention the fact that I have to overpaint the blue as well, just to make them match. And as you can see, the red still comes through, so it's going to require probably about 3 coats, I think, before I start getting it to the sort of blue that I want without the red coming through. I'll also be painting the blue areas in the same paint, just so everything matches. Carefully bringing out that sculpted spider logo on the back, trying to keep to the lines so it looks nice and neat. You have to paint out that red butt area because that just looks ugly. He's not wearing a red nappy, or diaper, so I need to make it all look uniform. And as I said earlier, I've got to overpaint the blue areas so all my blues will match when everything's said and done. So there you have it, humans. That's my take on redoing Spider-Man. Pretty simple really, just two processes basically, the black shoe polish and the blue paint. And you should seal it with a clear finish sealer just to protect all your paintwork. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in my next video, whenever that will be. This is Retro Rocket Man, over and out.